My name is. This is League of Legends, something that I'm going to be doing a little bit of a review on. If you don't know what it is, that's okay, because I'm here to tell you how the game works, how to do well in it, and just what kind of game is meant for you. So, what it is, it's a MOBA. It is a multiplayer online battle arena. Now, this is the client for it right now. Right now, there's about 37 million active accounts, but making it by far the most popular online game in the world. This is where you pretty much go to play your games. You download the client, a bunch of patches, and then here you are. You start at level 1 in your account, and it goes up to level 30. And starting at level 30, that's where you can start playing ranked. That's where you can start playing ranked queues like 5v5s, 3v3s, and so on. So right now they're only ranked solo and ranked teams. To have a ranked team, you have to have 5v5, and ranked solo and duo, obviously you either play by yourself or you play with a friend. So I'm going to give a little bit of an explanation of how it works. I have a map over here of Summoner's Rift. Really quickly, I'm going to just show you how the game works out. So for the basics, you have two bases. This is one base and this is the other base. You're pretty much randomed on a 5v5 team. You start either blue side or purple side. Now, the whole point of the game is to defend this thing, which is the Nexus, this thing and this thing. And you defend yours while you try to destroy the other Nexus. And once you destroy the other Nexus, the game is over and you win. So overall, these little things on the map, these three things are inhibitors. These are little points that you destroy to spawn what's called super minions. They spawn better minions that are harder to kill, that attack harder, and make the minions around it speed up. So once you start out in a game, obviously you're in a 5s team, right? So there's a top lane, a middle lane, and a bottom lane. Now, for the top lane, that's where the AD Bruiser goes. He's pretty much like a half tank, half damage output champion, which pretty much goes up there to farm and try to get as beefy as he can for later on in team fights. There's this middle lane as well, and that's where the AP mid goes. AP is ability power versus AD is attack damage. AP is pretty much, the AP mid is usually a very high risk, high reward character, usually kind of squishy, which means easy to kill. But they also output a lot of damage, especially if they start to get more kills. They start to farm minions more to get more gold and experience, and they try to just carry the team. They help carry the team in big ways. And you're probably wondering what these sections of the map are. This section and this section, that's called the jungle. There are creeps that spawn in the jungle that give experience and gold, and that's where the jungler goes. The jungler is the third part of the team, and he goes in there to, on his side of the map, to farm minions and buffs, which give you stuff like there's a red buff that spawns right here. It gives you a little buff that every time you auto attack, it puts a little AoE damage on it, a DPS damage I mean to say, which does damage over time, and it also slows the target for a little amount of time, like I think 2 seconds. Right over here is the blue buff. What it gives you once you kill it is it gives you cooldown reduction, and it increases your mana regeneration by a whole lot. Those two ones on the map are very important to capture. If the other team gets it, and if the other team steals it from you, which happens in a lot of games, then they get the buff, and obviously you're left without that buff. And without that buff and experience, it sets you a little bit behind. So the jungler's main point in the game is to make sure that the other lanes are doing well, and to what's called gank the lane. To gank a lane, you either go in from the side or wherever and try to kill the other members in that lane with the help of your own team. And that's an easy way to get kills and to get your lane that you're ganking fed. Being fed is just a term that means that you have a lot of farm and you have a lot of kills. And by getting kills, you get golden experience. And when you go back to the base to buy items, you can buy more items that'll make you more powerful, that'll make you do more damage, etc., etc. And also you have this bottom lane. Now, two people usually go down here. I'm going to explain both roles. But the two people that go down here have to have pretty good synergy because they're working together in the same lane. And usually this is where most of the fights happen, just because of the fact that one of the people that go down there is called an AD carry. It's attack damage carry. He's usually one of the most squishiest people in the game, but he can do a lot of damage over time. and that he usually needs a lot of protection from his team in team fights. Something that's called peeling. When a team peels for someone, that means that they keep them protected while making sure that the people attacking him are kept far away from him. So that's where the AD carry usually goes, accompanied by the support. Now the support's role in the game is usually what you can determine for yourself. He supports the AD carry, making sure that he isn't attacked, or that if he is attacked, that he gets away safely and that he's peeled for the other team. Now the support really doesn't get mostly any kills in the match. He's usually there to get assists, which does give you gold, but probably about a third of the amount, and just to make sure that the AD carry gets fed, because if the AD carry is fed in a game, after the first couple kills, he can snowball pretty easily. Snowball is another term in League where it means that once you get the first couple kills in the early game, it's a lot easier to get more and more, considering that you can go back, get better items, and that'll put you ahead of the other AD carry in your lane. So there's a lot of concepts about League. Those are pretty much the main points. I'm going to explain a little bit more. This one, I'm sorry, I'll start with this one. This one right here, there's a big creep that spawns, or two big creeps that spawn in the map, roughly around 10-15 minutes. One of them is called a dragon. Now, a dragon is kind of hard to kill. You need about 2 to 3 people at least to kill it. At early game, it's very hard to kill because you don't have many abilities, you don't have many items. But right around the 15-minute mark, usually that's where people start to ward the lane and try to take the dragon, because once you take the dragon, it gives 180 gold for everyone on the team. Usually it's a pretty big buff, and that's the same thing for getting towers too. Towers give you gold. Dragon gives you gold. Baron Nashor gives you gold, and this is the ultimate spawn right here. It's called the Baron Nashor. It looks like a giant worm in the ground, and it's very, very, very difficult to kill. Usually that one is being taken roughly around the half-hour mark. And it not only does it give you a lot of gold and a lot of experience, gold-wise gives you around 200, experience gives you a lot per team member, but it also gives you a giant buff. The buff gives you a lot of cooldown reduction, a damage boost on both your attack damage and ability power, and it's very useful to have, especially if the team is stalling, or if the game is stalling and no one's really getting an edge on each other. The Baron Nashor, if one team has the Baron Nashor, it usually gives you a huge boost on the other team. Very important to get. And something that I just said to you guys, something that I didn't really explain, was wards. Now, a ward is let me first explain this whole map. If it kind of works like Diablo on a character of Diablo or anyone else, where you can only see around your champion. Usually this is covered in what's called a fog of war. It's very dark, and you can't tell if anyone's walking in it, even if it's the other enemy team, because of the fact that the line of sight is only relative to your own champion. Now, if you buy a ward, which costs 75 gold, you can put it down anywhere in the map, and it gives a slight area of vision around that ward. So say if you put it around key centers of the map, like say this river, or near your lane that you're fighting in, you can tell if the enemy jungler is going to come and gank your lane. And that's why it's always important to have at least 1 or 2 wards on your character, regardless of what role you're playing. There's a lot of counter abilities to this. You can buy what's called a vision ward, and it's a pink ward that costs twice as much. Or, I'm sorry, it costs 125 gold, a little bit more than a ward. And you can place it anywhere in the map, just like a regular ward, and it gives vision, true vision of everything in the area, with the same range as a regular ward. So say if you put down a vision ward like right here in river, and the enemy team puts down a ward right after you can see that ward and you can actually hit it to destroy it, which makes it obviously more important to have vision wards. But the drawback is they cost more, and you have to know where the other team put their own wards. That's a little bit of the basics about the map itself. There's a lot more in-depth details about when buffs spawn, when it's nice to counter gank the other jungle, when it's nice to start roaming around and try to gank other lanes. Even if you're not the jungler, it's actually possible to gank other lanes. But that's pretty much the basics of the map itself. But about champions, now the people that you control in League are called champions. There's about 120 plus champions in the game. And pretty much there's a role for everyone. So if I go to all right now, It's all of these guys right here. There's a whole lot of them, and there's a playstyle for everyone. If you like to go really tanky without a lot of damage, there's one for that. You can go either like Sejuani or even someone like Volibear. If you like to do a lot of damage that's really squishy, you can go someone like Fizz or Vayne or Katarina, which are, you know, they do a lot of damage, but they're also kind of easy to kill if you don't know how to play. So overall, that's pretty much the basics of the game itself. A lot of times people get kind of frustrated in early matches, especially when they're starting out on a new account, because of the fact that, you know, there's a lot of Smurfs that play, like people that have played for a year or two and they just make new accounts just to have fun. But as long as you get through the first couple games and you just plow on through to try to get to level 30, you'll start to learn more about the game, how to play, and that's the beauty of the game itself. There's really no skill cap. You can't really be the best at any certain champion, but it's that onward climb that's so appealing for other people. Right now, I'm gold 5. Right, that's a certain rank. There's a ranked kind of placement in League of Legends. Starts out at bronze and then goes to silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. They say about 4 to 5% of all League players are in gold or above, and it's not really that difficult to get up there. It just requires a lot of knowledge about the games and just to keep on playing. There's going to be a lot of times when you feel like quitting just because of the fact that either your team feels like a bunch of retards, or the fact that you're tired of losing or feel like you're not really going anywhere in your skill level with your champions. But the best way to just keep on going is to mute other people if they're being toxic to you, and just play your own game. This is meant to be a game, not real life, although it may seem like that sometimes. That's the best advice I can give you, and just to try to be nice to other people. Being nice to other people, even if they're being rude to you, will go a long way to help winning games, believe it or not. So good luck out there. Hopefully you got something from this review. Right now I've been playing for about close to a year now, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. It's been getting a lot of my time, and I really enjoy it. So if that means anything to you, try it out yourself. It's really not that hard to pick up, but it is, like I said, it is hard to master. So good luck out there, and hopefully you can win some games. Good luck out there, Summoners.